If you're a web designer just like me and love following design trends, then you know that scroll animations is hot and happening. And did you know that you can create this animation with a little bit of JavaScript and a lot of CSS? Hi, I'm Nex from Techies Reviews and I just love creating things for the web. So let's jump right in. If you don't know by now, there's a CSS scroll-driven animations that you can make and build. And here's the documentation of it. There will be a link put in the description down below so you can see it for yourself and try it out. For creating the animation, I'm using EtchWP, which allows me to add JavaScript, HTML and CSS as well. On the right hand side, have a structure panel and easily add all these structures on the website itself. So the first thing I did is explore a little bit of how the animation could work. What I ended up with was this animation. As you can see right here, it is now doing everything but for the whole section. Let me break down why and how this happens. So the animation timeline has a view function, which means that within the viewport, so the visible section of your website, we want the animation timeline to happen on block, so from top to bottom, and 50% of the top, I want the animation to end. 5% of the bottom, I want the animation to start. The animation name is up here. Those are keyframes. So here I set a keyframe that needs to happen at 0%. It needs to be 20 pixels blurred. Then it turns red at halfway. And I want it to end with a filter, without a filter blur, and back to black. I wanted this animation to happen on both, on scrolling up and down. I want the duration to be 5 milliseconds. This is specifically for Firefox. And then we have the animation timing function linear, so we have no easings going on. As you can see, we have this nice looking effect, but I don't want it to happen on the H1. I want it to happen on every word that's within the H1. So what we need to do next is split up this text. I asked EtchWP to write JavaScript for me. I had an idea. I know what kind of functions we need approximately, but I asked EtchWP to refine it and he came up with this. So what this does, it grabs the sentence of our H1, which now only has the title class of hero's title, but we're going to add split words in there. So let's do that real quick. Then within a sentence, I want to grab the text. I want to split the text by spacing and wrap it around a span tag. I also added the index of every word so that we can do something fancy with that inside of our CSS animations. We'll be showing that shortly, and then join everything together and put it back inside of our heading. And if we then hit save and look at the front end, then we see that nothing is happening, but we have created our own split text effect, as you can see right here. Now inside of our split words, we want an animation to happen on each word. Each word has now the class and dash text and an index. So we can use the previous animation, but we need to tweak it a little bit. So we need to say n%, which means it will grab the split words and every child in there with an dash text gets this animation. Now this is the similar animation that we saw before, and this one is a little bit different because we want a delay for each word. Because what happens if we disable it, everything will still appear and disappear at the same time. But because we want to add a little bit delay, we have added the variable right here that I said earlier, and we did a calc around it for each word that's in there at 1 millisecond. And if we then hit save, we see that the text animation is happening as expected. So this was a very quick and easy breakdown on how to create the scrolling effect and animation. I would love to know what kind of animations you want me to experiment with as well. Leave a comment down below with your most amazing text animations that you could find. And if you like to watch how I struggled with getting this to work, then watch this live stream right here. And as always, thanks for watching and keep designing. Bye bye.